We're in Fifth Ward, Texas. If you see the news all the time, you will be scared to come in because that's always talking about all the bad things happening here.
People hear Fifth Ward, the first thing they say, oh, Fifth Ward, they just think it's just such a bad place.
It's quiet, ain't nothing like people really think perceives it to be. You're gonna have bad kids anywhere, but you just, any kid, don't be no guidance, you can find trouble very easy.
Let's go, let's go, let's go!
All right, y'all come on the field. My name is Carlos Honore. All the way to me, all the way to me. I coach the sophomore team. Same thing going back, the Fifth Ward Saints.
1, 2, 3, Saints!
And my wife and I, we were visiting a couple friends in Fifth Ward, driving around, saw a lot of kids, saw a lot of things about the community I grew up in resembled the Fifth Ward. We talked about it and we decided that we would start a youth football team / social service program. You've been doing this long enough, you can do better than that.
Some kids at 9 years old and 10, 11,
Come on, Leo!
they don't have a positive role model, especially in this area.
I'm letting y'all know starting today, if your parents tell me that you've been disrespectful at home or anywhere else, you guys are gonna have to deal with the consequences.
Hit him low.
What we do is we communicate with the principals of the schools, we communicate with the parents, communicate with the teachers. So the kid can't do anything and we not hear about it.
Say for instance, you did something bad.
I want you to give me 2 laps. Now.
It has to be consequences.
He's came into this community
Gonna be able to get your head out of there?
and let them know that you don't have to get into gangs. You can do other things with your life.
He said, don't be like everybody else. Don't be running around the streets. Don't be doing all that. He just say stay focused in school and football.
Good. You don't have to live like the people you see on a day-to-day basis.
He's showing them that it's not about your neighborhood, it's the individual.
We use the people standing on the corners in the middle of the day. We use the people drinking, letting them know that those people were once kids and they once had a bright future. Okay, good, that's a good fit for you. And they decided they made a bad decision somewhere along the way that landed them starting to look like a football player now in the predicament that they're in. Right stretch.
That's what he's giving them, a way out. Just do what you know that's right in your heart.
Hustle, hustle. We give those kids that alternative. We let them know that just because you're from a certain part of the community or a certain part of the area, you don't have to be a product of your environment.
Once you know that you can be a leader outside of your community, you can shine.
We chose the name Saints because there are some saints in the community that get overlooked. And we feel that bringing attention to these kids, some of the positive things that are going on in the community, because so many times you hear about all the negative things going on and coming out of the Fifth Ward, but there are some saints. The kids in the community, to me, are the saints, and we as adults need to mold them and help them along in their path.
Just another stone that help everything get better and better.
That's what I'm talking about. Hey, hey.
Every little thing helps.
Sound like good job, man. All right.
The Party of Pilgrims began this morning in St. Peter's Square. Voices from around the world celebrating their faith with friends.
Because I want to see the Pope and stay with my friends.
On rough cobblestones as solid as their faith, they enrolled sleeping bags and blankets.
This is the full experience, and I think it makes it better. I'd rather be doing this than like sleeping on a pillow in a hotel far away.
For some, an even fuller experience with just plastic for padding.
On concrete, on plastic, with tons of pigeons roaming around.
People have air mattresses. I think we have maybe a raincoat.
We got here actually at midnight.
Joanna Jar arrived from Los Angeles late last night and rushed to St. Peter's for a 48-hour vigil. She flies back right after the Mass Sunday.
Oh my God. I would not change this experience for the world, even if it's just a 48-hour experience.
But this was the experience 2 hours later when police moved everyone out of St. Peter's Square and then tried pushing them back down the boulevard.
Really frustrated because the security have nothing organized.
Finally, police gave up, but the people kept singing and their spirits filled the air.
We pray for this moment. Special place, special time.
And worth it to you?
Yes, definitely. I mean, it was magical at the beatification. It's only going to be better this time around.
Scott, ready. All right. right, ladies, mount your men. Nice start out of the gate.
This is the Texas Wife Carrying Championship.
Texas Wife Carrying Championships.
We've got about 60 or 70 couples.
Last year, I believe, overall, we got 4th place.
278 yards.
It sounds short, but it'll take every bit of energy out of you.
Which includes a sand obstacle, a water pit.
I don't know about that water.
As well as 2 steeplechase-like hurdles.
Please have your helmets on.
You really have to hold on tight.
I have to hold on for dear life.
And hoping that he won't drop you or he don't fall so you won't eat some dirt.
Let's go. Oh,
it's hilarity.
It's a little spill.
It's pretty bizarre. It's not like any other sport.
I was telling people at work about it and they couldn't believe what this was.
We got to be able to laugh at each other. We got to be able to come together and have fun.
It's kind of hard to hold on sometimes because your head is just popping.
Whenever you're hanging upside down,
pressure is going to your head and
you feel like your stomach's gonna turn, but you just gotta hang on tight.
You're almost there, you're almost there.
I promised him that I would sing to him the whole way to keep him.
She's gonna sing to me while I'm running. Another one bites the dust.
Keep him in a happy place.
This year's Texas Wife Carrying Championships, it benefits a great cause. Pediatric cancer patients and their families will be directly benefited. And so far we've had over $10,000 that has been raised. We expect to come in at about $12,000 by the end of the day. So it's really going directly to the families that it's going to make a great impact to make the life of a sick child just a little bit brighter.
Just to bring everybody in and have fun and also to give.
The rain came so quickly and was so heavy that the new underpass at the Grand Parkway in FM 1093 just filled up.
Never seen 99 like this before.
In less than a half hour, more than a dozen cars were stranded, some by mud.
My car got stuck in the mud, and I hope that my car doesn't fall back and get flooded.
Others by water.
I got stuck right there in the middle. And after that, a couple cars went by. The waves pushed my car forward, and I was able to get out. Wait for my car to, I guess, engine to dry up, and it works now, so I got lucky.
Fort Bend County Sheriff's deputies waded in to check cars and help frighten drivers to higher ground. Cody Brown, who works nearby,
I looked out the window and it was just sheets of rain. It was crazy.
Was one of a handful of people who came out to help.
I saw these guys stranded and thought I better give them a lift.
The water was cold and drivers were just caught off guard.
It just came out of nowhere.
Whether you're a believer or not.
We're probably in a high point in deal with exorcisms.
Those of faith know the power of good.
All of a sudden, one of the boys got thrown into the freezer.
And evil. Last night, we introduced you to Father Mike Maginot.
This is the house.
Yes.
On the case of an Indiana family tormented by demons, possessed.
He asked me to come on over to perform an exorcism because a boy walked up the wall backwards.
Indiana state records chronicling one of the Amon's children while in CPS custody walking up a wall. Another child seen lifted and thrown into a wall. Nobody was touching him. A psychologist and doctor witnessed it all, along with caseworker Valerie Washington. Underneath the basement stairs, Father Maginot says police later dug up some items, fake fingernails, a boy's socks, and clothes.
Items that were used for necromancy, which means conjuring up the dead.
He says a portal to hell was opened nearly a century ago by the first homeowners. Reports that the Amon's children would talk to a dark figure.
He was saying that, what is it like to die? Once you open it up, you can't get rid of them.
But Father Maginot says he and his bishop decided to perform an exorcism on the children's mother, LaToya.
I cast you out, unclean spirit.
It took 3 exorcisms.
Power and enemy.
The final one in this chair.
Every time I put the crucifix on her, she would convulse, but it would be a steady convulsion.
Police and other witnesses were there for it all, sitting in the pews, a series of praising God and condemning the devil.
It got more and more, violent.
Father Maginot now calling the demon out by name.
Once you get the name, you pretty much have it. It's like caught. It's like, you got the spotlight on it. It's nowhere to run. It's trapped.
Finally, after hours and hours.
Be gone then, in the name of the Father.
A release.
And of the Son. When it was gone from LaToya, it was also gone from the kids.
Amons eventually got her children back, but they never returned to that home where Father Mike Maginot says the portal to hell is still open today.
There is a danger because in fact, I did have to perform an exorcism on someone that went in there. It will become one of the notorious sites of America.
Photog, 13 Eyewitness News.
At the foot of the 146 bridge leading into Kemah,
we've seen everybody passing by, the traffic, everyone to look at it.
There's something in the air.
What's that smell?
That has everyone asking the same question.
We didn't know what it was.
Erica Guerra and her 6-year-old daughter got a whiff of it too.
We actually had to blame it on this one. We thought she had a little accident.
But the stench was worse than any human accident.
It just stinked really bad. Like you had to cover your nose when you walk by there.
So what's the stinking problem? Fish, hundreds of thousands of them, dead in the shoreline of Galveston Bay.
It almost looked like it was pavement.
We thought it was sand.
Even we mistook the scene at the foot of the bridge for gravel. But once we pulled over and got an up-close and personal look, there was no mistaking the fish. Texas Parks and Wildlife says they are more than likely shad or bait fish that began turning up last week. We're told depleted oxygen levels may be to blame. Edward Hinojosa and his family spend almost every other weekend here.
We've never seen nothing like that in our life.
This time around, he had to pick a less smelly spot. Still, no dead fish, no stench are enough to keep his family away on this long holiday weekend.
Hey, everybody's still having fun out here.